Hi, this is G from Native Speakers Academy with another simple lesson. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a great week. These simple lessons are a little bit of motivational, educational, philosophical psychology designed to help teachers and students get through their working week and maybe get through their life as well, because life is hard and love is hard. And today's little speech, my little rap to you today, is going to be about the substance of love, or how to give love substance, because very often it's an abstract concept, and if we don't do what we love and love what we do, we're not going to get very far, are we? So I think it's important to give ourselves some rules, some standards, some borders. And one of the speeches that I have with my younger students is how to know and understand what love is, how to give it value, and how to quantify it, and not just have an emotionally led response to life. So that's a bit of an abstract explanation. What do I mean? Well, the physical world is hard. The physical world is hard enough to understand already. The words that we use to define objects become the objects themselves, and so that by giving things a name we think that we understand them. But the real way in life is much more complex than that. An object is not just an object, it's a reason, it's a purpose sometimes. And one of the complexities of life is our ability to describe emotions and so then understand them. We're often full of emotions personally that we can't control. Our brains are full of thoughts that we can't touch, and there's often a spirit or a reason why we're driven that we can't really define. But it's part of our core. It's that part within us that makes us us. So there's an abstract nature to our existence, but what we have to do is try to give substance and some firm grounding to the ideas, inklings, abstractions that are around us. And this is always useful, I think, for then we can measure, we can be sure, we can measure, we can gauge the language, we can plot a course, we can guide and be guided, the same way that we have charts for progress and maps for positions. And if you want to understand part of the grammar map principle, then there are other presentations on my YouTube channel related to grammar maps and how we can map out the language to understand some areas of how it works. Language, especially the English language, is a carefully scientifically constructed system. It didn't happen by chance or by accident. There is a clear design to it. Only those who do not understand it will tell you that there is not. And so to love and to be loved. Love, that emotional response that guides us and yet so often bonds us and binds us. It binds us to our own shortcomings and limits us. There's a really bad musical with the title Everybody Says I Love You. Maybe you've seen it. Not really a great film, but the title is true. Everybody uses those words. But what does it mean to love somebody or to love something? Words are not enough. We need more than to define something. We need to look carefully at activities and actions. There's another musical with the line, how will I know that she loves me? Or is it he loves me? Yeah, those who follow Disney films will know that one. Anyway, we need to observe actions and follow not just words. We need reference points. We need to see the fruit that the tree bears. We need to understand that the deeds are indeed everything. So, understanding some of the elements of love. You have to look for it. Observation. Observe. Serve. Serving the world, observing the world, understanding it. You have to look for it. You have to look for love. It's in many things. It's in the way that a person can present themselves. I'm not talking about just an image for the sake of an image. Actually wanting to present yourself in a professional and positive manner, in a way that says, I believe in myself and what I do. That's kind of important. You know, you don't want to be going out with somebody who's got a t-shirt with holes in it. Or a shirt, for that matter. Like my shirt from last week. Anyway. It's understanding over anger. It's taking time to listen rather than to dictate to people how they should feel and what they should do. It's in a tidy home, in the organization of the things in their environment. A comfortable chair, clean bathroom, tidy shelf. Look at what a person reads and make sure they don't just put the books on their shelf. Make sure that they've read the books. Yeah. You know, what you read is also a reflection of who you are. Lost arts, really. You know, the ability to perhaps read some of Shakespeare's plays or a piece of classical literature, and to understand it beyond the reading. Anyway, it's about the fact that the inner world is reflected in the outer world. That's the concept of organization. That, look, a person with a messy environment's got a messy world inside. It doesn't mean they're not a nice person, but the more organized you are, the further you're going to get, right? Hard lessons to learn, but real lessons. Little things make big differences. Attention to the details. How much milk goes into the coffee? Do they remember how much milk you take? Do you take milk? Do you take sugar? Little things, little things, little things. Position of the knives and forks on the table. Little things. I mean, it gets into, you can make an art out of it. You can make it more complex than it needs to be. You can get all feng shui on the world. But there's a practical element there as well. You know, is the person interested in flowers and in nature, preserving nature. This is the person doesn't really care about the world if they're dropping sweet papers on the ground and throwing cigarettes out of their car window, and it's symbolic. Everything is symbolic, and maybe more than symbolic. It's symptomatic of greater problems that exist in the world and will exist as well. Does a person put flowers in a room? Do they have an organized desktop? Do they have a clear plan, a strategy? Do they have past successes? They're not just living off the success of other people. They're being successful themselves. And not just being, doing as well. Are they interested in brain activities and little puzzles that they can do, and crosswords and maybe Sudoku, which I've never been able to do, but I know that people who do it are actually training their brain. So, and training the body as well as the mind. One of my old friends was once asked a question by a student, which was, how do I make myself attractive to other people? How do I bring other people into my life? And his answer was very simple. Go to the gym at least 3 times a week. Train your body, train your mind, and people will be attracted to that self-discipline. And he was right as well. So there's something to think about. Someone who has friends who excel, someone who has friends who are excellent, who are not prepared to put up with someone being normal. The enemy of greatness, the enemy of excellence is good, because people who are good tend to be satisfied with just being good, and that's it. It ends there, which is kind of crazy. Someone who will, once they have borders, they will complain in a rightful manner about something which is incorrect, about an injustice. Somebody who orders food in a restaurant, and when the food comes, it's not what they expected to be. It's not what they're led to believe it should be. You need to make a stand, make a statement. British people famously complain about everything. That's because they have standards. Other people tend to say, well, it's normal, or that's just the way it is, and well, you've given up before you started, haven't you? So, don't do that. Don't give up before you start. Have standards, have accountability, have an ability to give a real apology and seek to rectify errors, not just leaving things in words. It's a sign then that there's somebody who wants to grow, somebody who wants to be better, somebody who wants the world around them to be better, and someone who wants you to be better as well. There are people who want you to be the best that you can be, and these people are your friends, and if you're a teacher, that's your responsibility to want the students to be the best that they can be, not just to be satisfied with average. Average people will live average lives, and there's greatness within everybody. It's worth understanding that. So, perhaps somebody who loves you wants the best for you, so they might challenge you. But at the same time, they're also going to accept that you are who you are. And there's a core of you that makes you you. And that's not really going to change. And all of these things bring love to life. So that it's not some abstract concept that you can't touch. It becomes something physical that you can measure in your observations of the world around about you. Life is hard, and it's harder if there's no substance. It's hard if there's no nourishment. And so when we begin to understand the actions of love, we can begin to nourish life. just a little bit. So, these are my simple lessons and thoughts which I hope will help students and teachers to define the world around about them and make better choices to make the rest of their day maybe the best of their day. So, if you've got some comments, got some ideas, let me know. And I try to keep it short. It's difficult sometimes. Speak to you soon.